officials today from the CCIW: Bobby Daw, Greg Gerritsen, Kevin Rahr. Here we go, the national championship game underway from the racing capital of the world. Emory in white, UMW in navy. With nobody controlling the tip, we'll have a sideline out of bounds. 15-day layoff, pretty unique, from winning their semifinal game to playing in the championship. Both teams had time to prep and then over-prep and then overthink, and now they got to go out and actually execute. That one goes out of play and stays down here.
Both teams knowing when they left Fort Wayne that they were going to have to take their time getting ready for Indy. As you see, Robinson, Young, Bates, Burgess, Randall is starting 5 for the Eagles. And yes, we're in Indy. I think I said pregame Atlanta by accident. So used to the fact that in 2013, this is what we did. And then in 2020, we were supposed to do it again in Atlanta before COVID brought everything to a close.
From the left wing, an early 3-ball misfires from Kai Robinson, who had a little bit of a hard time getting going offensively in Fort Wayne in the quarters and semifinals, but he is the number 12 scorer in the country, and he's excellent from the free throw line, finds lots of ways to be impactful.
As a sophomore, that's the scary thing about this Mary Washington team. Everybody comes back next year.
Ben Pierce with a very long shot from the left side. A little off target.
You have to be careful. We got Eagles v. Eagles today. It's not going to be easy.
Eagles are flying here to Indianapolis, hopefully soaring while they're in town as A.J. Harris dribbles into a tough spot. Jair Knight, this kid is something special. The most athletic player in Division III. Mario Awasam from the keyhole raises and misses.
Awasam was so key in the Fort Wayne weekend. Not only the great defense he played against Illinois Wesleyan, especially Noah Cleveland, but how he was kind of their third option in the scoring and kind of disrupted a lot of the defenses.
Foul away from the ball in the same way that Jay Randall is an X factor for Mary Washington because he's a tough mismatch. It kind of feels like Awasam could be the answer to that.
Absolutely agree with you. I think he can be kind of the unknown. And when he sat for a few minutes in the first game against Illinois Wesleyan, you saw the difference.
Robinson up and in to get the scoring started after Ben Pierce. I beg your pardon. Yeah, it was Ben Pierce that picked up his first foul. Faust finds Harris. Pierce drives baseline and throws it into the bench.
Chance to see the Robinson score on the last play. Awasam losing track of him on the help defense, and Robinson finding a nice lane there to receive the pass and lay her home.
I suppose on the positive side of things, having 2 weeks between the semis and the championship game means that everybody had a large window to figure out their travel plans on this holiday weekend. We've got a great crowd on hand as Pierce contests that Robinson miss.
Arguably the biggest crowd either team has ever played in front of.
Ethan Faust, got to get him going early if you're Emory as it swirls away.
He really did go for him as he was big in his quarterfinal game, hitting the first couple of shots.
Need a little bit of help as Jaden Burgess got stymied on the baseline and then turned it over. Faust raises from the same spot and is off target again, but nobody boxed out Awasam, who's rejected at the rim behind. Jay Randall swatted it with authority.
Randall, 17 blocks this season, make it 18.
5 straight misses for Emory to start the game. Burgess from the elbow finds Caden Bates. Circling around, couldn't control it with the right hand. Bates hit the biggest shot in program history to send him here. And his 3-ball in the right corner. The final 25 seconds of that semifinal win against Trinity locked up their title berth.
Watch Randall coming from the help defense from behind. Big swat, well timed. He's got the team lead in blocks. You kind of see why. He's opportunistic. They don't block a lot of shots. That's not where their defense is kind of their strongest. But when they can, it's going to be him coming from the help.
Preston White, freshman from Gainesville, Virginia, checks in. Interested to see his role today because his size probably gives him more playing opportunity with what Emory has. We got a timeout on the floor as Pierce fell down and was able to get a timeout called before turning it over. So it's only 2-0 early on, and I think it's at least worth bringing this up here early, Dave. The teams are a combined 1 for 10 shooting, and in the Division II game we saw played before this, both Gannon and Lander got off to really poor offensive starts before settling in. Maybe some of the butterflies, maybe you're getting used to the shooting angles. There's a lot going on here.
Quickly, you don't see Marcus Kahn, by the way, usually that fired up. He'll have his moments, and that's getting his team going. But to your point, yeah, I was wondering about that factor. Listen, Fort Wayne has some funky little shooting eyes for everybody. But it's a different environment, right? We're the home of the Pacers play. We're at the Final Four. This is an environment that these guys aren't accustomed. And so, yeah, I think it's a big deal. Michigan was talking about the fact that they brought in like a mobile shooting thing and kind of changed the angles.
Dusty May brought the basketball hoop out into the big house.
It's been on my mind all day going, I wonder if either of these teams figured out something like that, and I doubted it. So, yeah, it's a factor. And once these two teams settle in, I think this game will take off a little bit.
Jason Zimmerman said he felt like playing in Fort Wayne at Memorial Coliseum was a bit of a precursor, and he didn't want to play too much into that whole concept.
Well, the other thing is Pierce rises up, misses it long. Lawson with a big rebound. Another big key.
Knight from way downtown, right on target. Emory, big shot to settle down the Eagles.
I think another key here is these two teams did practice in this arena. They got their opportunity, but today's shooting time was over at IU Indy. The disadvantage of having 3 games here today is you don't get the time on the floor ahead of your big day.
Robinson to the free throw line where Randall misfires. Pretty rhythm jump shot. Let's see if Emory wants to get out and play with some pace here. E.J. Harris spinning through the left side, finds Faust in the corner, and Randall goes barging into it. So it's a 3-2 ball game at our under 16 timeout. We've had a few shots not go down, but Jair Knight gets in the action early on, and the All-American hits an early triple.
Part of the calling card for these two teams is big-time shots and big-time moments, and Pierce came up with a big one against Illinois Wesleyan, the buzzer beater, or near buzzer beater, to help knock off the Titans 83-78 in Fort Wayne in the quarterfinals, and not to be outdone as they place their name on the bracket. Mary Washington knocking off the defending national champs, coming from behind to do it in the quarter. Caden Bates wide open. No one expected him to hit that shot. He does a big three-pointer, but he hits one when he needs to, and the defending champs knocked off by the Eagles to punch their ticket to Indy.
Such a big shot, handing Trinity the loss. The #1 team in the country coming into the NCAA tournament. 3 straight national semifinal berths for Coach Cosgrove and the Bantams. But the defending champs knocked out Caden Bates, just cold-blooded. As we get a missed rhythm jump shot. UMW trying to settle in offensively here. Mary Washington, about 50 miles south of Washington, D.C. In Fredericksburg, Virginia. Robinson hits on the baseline. Good jump shot.
50 miles, about a day and a half by car.
D.C. traffic is just the best.
Oh, it's so amazing.
Faust, Mario Owasam working around the perimeter. Ben Pierce from Tuckahoe, New York. He has had the ball in his hands, leading this program from day 1 as a freshman, now playing in the last game of his collegiate career. Faust a long way out, can't find the bottom. It's tipped back up by Harris over the rim, and a foul.
And Robinson's going to get called for this one, as he was cheating in a little bit from behind. And you'll see in the meantime Robinson on the far side. Nice little lean back jumper there. You get him going, he's gonna be tough to stop. But again, Fort Wayne, it was really what his work was at the free throw line that was such a key for that team.
E.J. Harris misfires. The all-time leading scorer in Piedmont high school history from Piedmont, California. And now in his junior year, he's been a huge player for this Emory rotation that includes, in my opinion, the best backcourt in the country between Pierce and Knight. But Harris probably doesn't get enough love.
I would agree with you. I think he gets undersung by the show that is Pierce and Knight. But you know what? UAA teams seem to always pick talent out from the backyards of so many good schools. And there's a great example, picking talent out of the SCIAC. SCIAC has kept so much good players from that region of SoCal at home. And for him to go cross-country to Atlanta,
Colin Mitchell on the floor as Randall's jump shot hits the heel of the rim. Bounces out of bounds. Mary Washington, 2 of 9. Emory, 1 of 10. Both teams struggling from the floor early on in a 4-4 game. This is unlike two really prolific offensive groups as they find Burgess, rejected by Owasam.
I was just about to congratulate them on finding the holes in the Swiss cheese that was Emory's zone there, but great long arms.
Faust gets a little lucky. You know the saying, defense travels, as Faust raises 4-3 in the corner, pops free.
Well, I think that's the calling card for Mary Washington. We can go deep into a hole on Marcus Kahn in his coaching career, where he was such an offensive-minded coach. There's a second foul called here on Pierce. But it's the defense that has come out of this Mary Washington team that is so good, and it's what we saw with Trinity. We saw 2 huge gaps in that semifinal game where Trinity couldn't buy a basket.
Well, you're always going to expect some adversity to come your way. And if you're Emory right now, your best player has 2 fouls. Will Otto off the bench, very capable as a guard, sophomore from Raleigh, playing some huge minutes now with Ben Pierce grabbing some chair.
Also Hassan Hamad out there for Mary Washington. He had such a key moment in the quarterfinals for them. And he's such a cog for them. He was a transfer from Christopher Newport. Just because he wanted to get a little bit closer to home. He went from one really good program and now helping another really good program on the other side of the conference.
Robinson trying to get it in. Jair Knight just won't let him have it.
It was an interesting, he forced that into Randall, even though Jair Knight had that bounce pass clearly covered.
3 on the shot clock. They get it in toward the low post. Randall goes to work and scores over the top of Ethan Faust.
Nothing I like better than a pretty baby hook, and man, Randall buried that one well.
6-4 Eagles. Of course, that's the Mary Washington Eagles. From the left wing, Polis off target, but another offensive rebound. That's the 5th offensive board of the game for Emory.
Second chance points, that's not what Mary Washington wants to give up.
Owasam goes to work, spins it off the window, gets a friendly roll.
Neither team a huge rebounding advantage team. If you look at it, Emory's, I think, a +2. Mary Washington's barely a +1 this season. But you don't want to give up second chance opportunities like the Eagles just did for the Eagles.
Colin Mitchell from the corner. Bingo!
He is their best three-point shooter at 44+%. He gets rolling, he is going to be tough to stop from outside.
Otto swings it over on the loose ball. Harris clanks it off the iron. 1 and done for Emory.
Robinson trying to buy a foul there.
Kai, uncontested. University of Mary Washington, champions in the Coast to Coast Conference. 11 straight wins coming in. Takeaway here. Jay Randall wants to take flight, and with 2 hands puts it home. to 6 UMW. Giving a lot of respect to the big sharpshooter, Ethan Faust. He almost turned it over. Here comes Mary Washington. Salvador gives it off. Hamad at the rim, no. Otto out tonight. 2-on-2. Jair defended really well, and Coach Kahn is saying, how is that a blocking foul? Jair Knight will have free throws when we come back.
Nice move here. Gets this steal. Sees he's got plenty of room. He's going to finish it off with a highlight. Mary Washington up by 5 on the #2 team in the country.
Jason Zimmerman's team needs to settle in on the offensive end. 2 of 14 from the floor. 1 for 10 behind the three-point line here in the beginning of this national championship game, and yet they only trail by 5. So if you're an Emory fan, you sit there and say, okay, could be a lot worse.
And all their points are coming on second chance opportunities, including 1 3, the only 3. It just kind of shows once they probably settle in, things will maybe turn, but Mary Washington's making it hard for them.
Jair Knight, this kid is special. 19 points a game, 6 rebounds, 2 assists per night. Second-team All-American this year, first-team All-American last year. And I mentioned it earlier, Coach Zimmerman would back up this for sure, that Jair Knight is the best athlete playing Division III basketball. He said he's not just an athlete playing hoops, he's a good basketball player. But when he gets in space, his athleticism is unmatched at D3. Fun to watch.
We saw that in Fort Wayne, right? How many just incredible acrobatic shots did he make and adjustments? He'd be getting a lot more attention if he didn't have a teammate in Pierce, and the two of them have stuck it out together.
Good find underneath to White. They swing it to the corner. Salvador's on the money. Couple of threes for UMW early on.
Really good passing there to find the open opportunity that was the right opportunity.
Another Virginia kid on this UMW roster. As Knight goes to work on White. Up and underneath. Couldn't spin it home. Loose on the baseline for just a second. Hall picks it up. They go to the left side. Emory pops out another three as Harris Jackson, their sharpshooter, off the bench. Can't connect.
Just got in the game, comes in at nearly 39%. Has been Pierce returns for Emory with his 2 fouls to try and spark this unit. And now they'll bring the Elder Faust into the game as well. Mary Washington is just, it's that defense just making it chaotic. And Emory, as much as they've got 15 days to prep for it, are struggling.
Knight, it looked good, it just didn't go down, but another offensive rebound, their 8th, as Faust misses on yet another long shot. There's a jump ball on the baseline. Possession arrow stays on this end. Emory, 1 for its last 11 from the floor, but they're +8 on the glass, +7 on the offensive side. They've had way more chances than you could bargain for.
That's probably the only knock on Mary Washington's defense right now, is they're giving Emory too many extra opportunities.
Ben Pierce, well defended until that last little reach in. Preston White commits the foul.
Yeah, I was going to say, White was in a good help defense, but he didn't take that one extra half step to be in a better spot. It was good defense initially by Young.
Division III college basketball in the state of Virginia has been really good for a long time. Frankly, college basketball in general, right, at all levels. But Mary Washington kind of feeling like it's their time to shine. We've seen the Christopher Newports, the Randolph-Macons, the Hampton-Sydneys over the years. UMW's Jair Knight went on the rack attack and got hit hard. Never actually really got the shot off.
Yeah, if that was at Indy, he just hit the wall in turn 1. Just gets crushed by White coming in. Yeah, you talk about Virginia. Okay, so listen, we're in Indiana, right? This is supposedly the hotbed of basketball. I've lived in Maine. I can tell you there's a hotbed of basketball and a passion for it in Maine. What they've got going in Virginia, it cannot be underappreciated. And you mentioned 3 schools. There's even more. Roanoke is coming along in the ODAC. We've seen some good things from other members of that conference, plus what you mentioned in Christopher Newport. And we haven't even talked about outside Division III. I mean, Virginia's pretty darn good, being led by a former D3 guy himself.
For sure. Into the corner, Bates thought about hitting. By the way, we have another substitution on the floor. Owen Pottenberg, sophomore out of Jacksonville, Florida. Burgess from a long way out draws a whistle. 3 foul shots coming for Jaden Burgess.
Well, Pottenberg, I don't think we even saw him enter the game in Fort Wayne as Mary Washington goes deep in the bench. In the meantime, Burgess with a look at the top of the key and the closeout, a little too hard by Harris Jackson.
Cool story for this young man. Jaden Burgess was with his family in Indianapolis 20 years ago at the Final Four in 2006. And now he's playing in the Division III National Championship game across the street from where he once attended that game. And has had an excellent season. He's had 6 straight games making a 3, 42% from behind the three-point line this year. His dad played very well at Radford back in the day.
Great young man. Every time I've seen him, he has come up, shook my hand, asked how I'm doing. I'm like, whoa, no, it's about how are you doing, sir? Great guy. I love the fact he's gonna be back for another year.
2 really good competitive teams, but a bunch of really polite kids.
Oh. it's the epitome of D3. It's also epitome of two coaches who want to do best for their guys. It's more than what's happening on the court.
Faust never saw a three from there. He didn't want to take, and finally injects a little life into the Emory offense. He's hit both. They are 2 for 13 from deep, as Mary Washington quickly misses on the other end, and Pierce is fouled.
What a shot from Faust, though. I mean, you're right. He loves this shot. He loves this position, and he found just the right touch to hit nothing but net. He, again, hit 2 huge shots against the Titans in the quarterfinals that kind of blew Emory right out of the gate.
7 fouls already on UMW. One thing Marcus Kahn told us is that they can't let Faust get his feet set at the arc. If they rush him, if he, they can allow Pierce to get in the paint, things like that are okay. But if you let this kid, 32, who's Ben Pierce, not only one of the best scorers, but the national assist leader, national player of the year at the free throw line. If they let Faust get set around the three-point line, it could be trouble.
Yeah, Pierce has also, by the way, broken records and all those things, but you're right about the Faust. And I think in the early shots, that's exactly what they were successful doing as Faust kicks that ball out of bounds, is they were successful in getting them into an uncomfortable shot in Faust. And that was the first kind of settled shot he got to take. Emory's throwing a lot of zone at Mary Washington so far.
Robinson, Sewador, Chubb, Young, Burgess, and Mitchell, the 5, as Young raises. And he misses off to the right.
Nice defense to just kind of undercut the shot there and make it uncomfortable.
Emory is 3 of 19 from the floor, 2 for 13 from deep. They're not penetrating as often, despite a little bit of a size advantage. Jair Knight says, I don't really care who's on me. I'm going to go up strong with it. Clanks it off to the right.
I think the penetration problem is because Mary Washington is doing such a good job swarming to the ball if it breaks inside 12 feet.
Off Burgess. He never saw the pass from Mitchell.
And you can see Mitchell talking to him like, hey, give and go. And Burgess knows that was probably the right play. He was just trying to cut to get out of the way. And Coach Kahn off camera there having a conversation with Burgess, getting on him a little bit about just, be aware. Things can change. As Marcus Kahn, he's definitely a different coach than when he brought Cabrini to the championship game in 2012. Probably still licking his wounds from what looked like a short championship that year.
Faust hits another. Heat check for Ethan Faust. He's got 3, 7 straight for Emory.
That was a nice little shot in the corner. Feet were set. He had time.
Little contact. The referees say not enough for a whistle.
Good no call there.
Jair Knight up and underneath. That was sweet. Emory takes the lead back. 9-0 run over the last 90 seconds. And a timeout for UMW.
Great little shot in the corner by Faust. Drills the 3. And then how about a little bit of English off the glass? Looking purty as Emory's jumped into the lead by 1.
Emory Eagles with 9 unanswered points have taken the lead back for the first time in several minutes. Jason Zimmerman, of course, a little bit of a homecoming for him these last couple weeks. He grew up in Warsaw, Indiana, which is pretty close to Fort Wayne, about 100 miles north of Indianapolis here. Spent the first 18 years of his life there. A lot of family and friends that had been bugging him about, hey, when are you guys going to get to Fort Wayne? And then they finally did, and now they double it up with a national title game appearance here in Indianapolis 2 weeks later. Pretty special for Coach Zimmerman and his family. Of course, he spent some time after playing at Davidson. He coached at Evansville, Southern Indiana. Hassan Hamad hits a triple try. Mary Washington 7 of 20 from the floor. Emory 5 of 22, but both teams have 3 threes. Jair Knight measures, clanks it.
Might have rushed that one a little bit, trying to be part of the party.
Cut Robinson off on the baseline and fling it back up top. Robinson's got 4, but he's got 6 rebounds and 2 assists. One of the top scorers in the country.
Now some lazy passing by both teams here. Faust got away with it that time after getting a steal on a lazy pass in the process.
Ben Pierce to the strike.
Remember, he's playing with 2 fouls, and he attacked the rim that time. Drew the foul from Colin Mitchell, who was the one who gave up the turnover on the other end.
Ben Pierce has had a little bit of a slow start offensively. 0 for 2 from the floor. He's got 1 free throw to go home. 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Picked up those couple early fouls. And obviously, Dave, anytime you play against Emory, I mean, this kid's the top of the scouting report.
Oh, absolutely. It starts and finishes with him. Yes, there's Jair Knight, and there's fouls, and there's all these other guys, but he's the one that's stirring the drink. He's the one who's put it all together. When you are averaging 24 points a game, 7 assists, and only 3 turnovers per game, you are going to get the attention of every defense you play.
Emory as a team, 71% from the free throw line on the year. 6 of 10 today. Mary Washington 3 of 3 so far. Robinson working on a taller Owassum. Good contest. Robinson fades and finds it.
You can see Owassum respecting that Robinson's got a great first step and trying to stay off him, but not too far. Great closeout defense that time from Ahmad. Faust was in a good spot, but Ahmad made that very uncomfortable, and Faust left it short.
All 8 of Ethan Faust's shots have been from long distance. He's hit 2 in 13 minutes.
It's that new age, right? About 6'9", but it's about shooting the 3. The metrics saying that shoot the 3, get the board, put it back in is a better opportunity than the 15-foot jumper.
Ahmad wanted to let it fly, got an offensive rebound for a second crack, and then quick turn it over.
Bates wanted to foul in the meantime.
Jair Knight stepped out of bounds. 5 turnovers now for Emory.
Burgess will come back in. You see Jason Zimmerman once again. You mentioned time at Davidson. Of course, several good D3 coaches have come through Davidson. Most recently, a man who took a team to 2 national championship games in Swarthmore, Landry Kozmalski, who ended up leaving D3 for Campbell. That school in the news right now. He was the associate head coach. The head coach left. Basically said the school wasn't supporting the program. So I'm curious what Kozmalski's going to do now.
Landry was the Glenn Robinson Award winner for the National Coach of the Year back in 2023 with the Garnet. Harris tried to find Owassum in transition and a quick turnover the other way. Of course, Marcus Kahn won that award this year as Kai Robinson was denied at the rim.
These 2 teams are just throwing haymakers right now.
Pierce wants to get going quick, and he's got more free throws on the way.
Ahmad doesn't like it, but from my angle, it looked like he kind of grabbed a hold of him as he went by. But again, these 2 teams are just throwing at each other. It's almost like they've abandoned the offenses. Who's going to survive in the next 5:20 to get in and then try and survive a conversation with their head coach?
Well, that said, both teams would probably tell you they're at their best when they're out running. They like to play fast. They're capable of playing in offensive sets. Ben Pierce hits the first foul shot. But they want to force you into making some mistakes and let the domino effect go in their favor as Chubb Young returns for Sewador.
It's interesting. I saw Marcus Kahn before the game started. He made a point to say that they tend to be a slow starting team. Chicago was the exception. Well, guess what happened today? They got off to a good start as well. Emory was a slow starter in this one, but we got them both now shot for shot coming down to the close of this first half.
Emory hasn't gotten any productivity from its bench so far, at least in the scoring column anyways. Mary Washington going a little deeper in the roster, getting lots of contributions. Young, 5 to shoot, raises. His jumper misses wide left by a bot.
Yeah, the second he shot that, you could just see he pushed it a little much. I don't know if it's an adrenaline or a shooting vision thing.
Owassum wide open, spots up and knocks it down. Not a big 3-point shooting threat, but Mario Owassum from the Woodlands, Texas, buries a 3 in the corner.
Just the 19th attempt he's had this season, the 7th make.
He's also sitting on an 8-rebound first half here, but gets in the scoring column with a big shot. Emory's lead is 1 as Kai Robinson misses at the rim.
If there was one thing I'd knock Robinson for, it'd be a situation like that where he's trying to get a call from an official that's just not going to get there.
Emory and Mary Washington both trying to win the first national championship in their respective program history.
Yeah, they forgot about Owassum in the corner. Everybody focused on the top of the key and the bottom of the key, and they forgot about the corner. Owassum burying just his 7th three-pointer on the season, giving Emory the 1-point lead, and Jair Knight looking to add on.
Joined us a little late. I'm Brendan Gulick alongside Dave McHugh. Happy Easter. Welcome to Indianapolis. Mary Washington last won a team national championship in 1991 in women's tennis. They haven't even played in a national championship game since 1993 in field hockey. Meanwhile, Emory, 34 national championships in athletic department history, but they're all in swimming, tennis, and golf.
They're really good at swimming.
On the left side. And missed by Bates. They have been a D3 swimming powerhouse for a long time. Baseball team, a couple national runner-up appearances, but this is the biggest basketball game in program history, both ways, as Owassum helped. Ethan Faust was able to grab it. Getting late in the first half, 24-22 Emory.
I was joking that Mary Washington's sports information director is nice steal there by Young. Clint Often before the game. I'm like, has it seriously been since '93? He goes, well, we had some really good lacrosse programs, but then they ran into these programs named Middlebury and Trinity.
Colin Mitchell from the elbow, Knight and company are saying, fine, I'll get going faster, right to the rim, a little rack attack.
Mary Washington had a couple really good women's programs, especially early 2000s, but again, only semi-final appearances for them.
Mitchell back to Young, raises and hits.
Great passing, great passing. Not to force a shot you don't have, despite Emory's defense and getting it back to the right spot.
Emory earlier had a 9-0 run. That shot snaps a 7-0 run. For the most part, Emory's offense has been all or nothing. The lead for Emory is 1. Knight out of St. Edward High School, one of the powerhouses in Northeast Ohio. Turns it over here as Kai Robinson, the All-American, beats him off the dribble and lays it in. Kai Robinson's got 8. And Mary Washington's Eagles have the lead back. Owassum traveled. A little better rhythm and flow here down the stretch of this first half, a 1-point game.
Yeah, good job of both teams finally settling into the game and then finally finding some good opportunities off of defense. Robinson gets past Knight, lays her home, and we got a 1-point ball game.
Ben Pierce and Jair Knight, the focal point for Emory. Ben Pierce, of course, the number 13 leading scorer in D3 college basketball, and has not been able to find the bottom of the bucket a whole lot here tonight.
Yeah, struggling just 3 points despite averaging 24 a game. Foul trouble certainly part of that conversation. With his 2 fouls, had to sit for a while, but this Mary Washington defense have been keyed on making sure he doesn't get the ball comfortably at all.
All 3 of those are also from the free throw line,
right,
as he walks back to the stripe here. 0 for 2 shooting it. Pierce is averaging 24 per game in the NCAA tournament. I guess Pierce is not going to shoot free throws here. He's just
but he did walk
standing
to the
on
line. Yeah, you walked there. I think he's going to have his moment. It's just going to take, I think, his teammates hitting some shots, like Jair Knight, to force Mary Washington to change her defense a bit and give him more opportunities.
Waning couple minutes of the first half. Kai Robinson, 2 foul shots coming.
They called Knight for that. I saw Owassum eyeing the official to see if he was guilty, but they called on Knight instead. So Robinson, who again at Fort Wayne didn't have the most prolific offensive weekend, but he didn't miss a free throw. And here he does, he misses one here, but he had an amazing weekend from the free throw line in Fort Wayne to kind of force Mary Washington to this championship game.
High volume shooter for sure. 12 of 12 in the semifinal, 16 of 16 between the 2 games. And he gives UMW a 2-point lead. Mary Washington's largest lead was 8. Emory's biggest lead, 4. And 6 lead changes here in the first half. Mary Washington has led for most of the way. Knight raises, had a great look at it, but bricked it way to the left.
You would think at this point the nerves are out of the equation, right? Maybe the sight lines are still a thing. I'm a little baffled at some of the shooting woes.
Burgess hits the front of the iron as Pierce wants to get going. Then all the way to the rim, blocked from behind. Great play, Caden Bates.
Nope. Just out of bounds. I thought maybe they had gotten a foul on that. I thought maybe got him in the arm, but that is not the call. It'll just be out of bounds. As you take a look at it coming the other direction. Well, he got the ball and then he got the arm. There's Bates coming at you. Ooh, yeah, I can see an argument either way.
Wow, here's sloppy turnover by Emory. Colin Mitchell returns for Mary Washington. You know what he's in to do, shoot it from deep. Same thing with San Hamad, who returns as well.
You talk to coaches, by the way, they say the most overrated thing is the idea of halftime adjustments. I am, though, curious what Emory's going to have to do. They've been in a zone a lot against Mary Washington. It's been effective, but their offense is just sputtering. While they've got some good points, they've had some good runs. Some of their top guys are just struggling.
Bates was open. Now he'll range. Jumper from the mid-range. Too deep. Final minute of the first half in the national championship game. Faust received a great pass and scores.
Great vision from Owasim, who just got that rebound on the other end to see the cut.
Owasim 5 points, 12 rebounds in the first half. Season high for him, 16 in the opening game of the NCAA tournament. This one is loose and picked up by UMW.
Oh, Robinson keeping that one alive, getting in there and getting the ball back.
Shot clock is now off. Hold for the last one. They put it back on.
Yeah, because they got it in the front court.
One official had told him to take it off. The other one says put it back. Good rejection at the rim. Mitchell hoists. Owasim was there.
Not getting that call.
A frantic end of the first half. Jair Knight. Oh, yeah! That's how you close the first half of the national championship game.
Knight had arguably a very frustrating first half, but watch him finish this one emphatically. He needed that going into the halftime. That's going to help him have the confidence coming out in the second half. What a one-hand finish from the big man.
Knight's got 13 at the break as Coach Zimmerman joins us on his way to the locker room. Jason, thanks for a brief moment. Ben Pierce 0 for 3 from the floor. He's got a couple of free throws. I know you put the ball in his hands a lot. How do you try to get him better scoring looks here?
Yeah, we'll get him better scoring because they do a good job against him. They're a really good defensive team. So we'll try to get him better scoring. Basically, he's got to be patient, right? He's got to be patient, takes what's coming. You got a lot of guys out there that can make shots. We didn't shoot it great in the first half. We're feeling each other out a little bit longer than I wanted, but we'll give him some looks here in the second half. The 2 fouls hurt him a little bit.
You've been playing a lot of zone defense. Are you going to stick with that, or how do you get them to slow things down?
Yeah, well, we played zone a lot more probably than we want to because Ben had 2 fouls, so trying to protect him a little bit up there. But we always mix it up, so we'll keep mixing it up for sure there.
Enjoy watching you. Thanks for the time.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, guys.
Coach Zimmerman's team has battled their hearts out. They turned it over 9 times in the first half, trailed by as many as 8, but with a great closing play by Jair Knight on that dunk, they take a 2-point lead into the locker room. Halftime in Indianapolis in the Natty. What a turnaround for UMW. They were 6-10 in the middle of the regular season last year. Went on quite a turnaround, got hot, won the conference tournament, won a couple of NCAA tournament games, and then lost to Emory in the Division III version of the Sweet 16. Emory, of course, lost the next game to Wesleyan, which denied them a trip to Fort Wayne. But Mary Washington here in the 2025-26 season has just been magnificent. 29-3. Emory, of course, high hopes coming into the year. They thought they had a chance to be on this stage. Both teams are playing well. Here we go, national championship game. Second half starts with a layup at Caden Bates.
Let's finish the string out. Wesley and then lost to Trinity in the semifinals. Trinity goes, wins the national championship. Of course, Trinity, the big three from Harris in the corner. Trinity goes and loses to Mary Washington this time around. I just felt like that needed to be written all the way out.
All the way out. I love it. Then Pierce with a poke away at the top of the arc. He goes right to the can and is fouled by Young. First foul on Ulysses.
He doesn't like the call. It was the trailing official on the near side that saw something in what happened there. Oh yeah, he's leaned in. As Pierce went up, you could see Grant leaned in on him, bumped him. And the official seeing that from his angle.
Knight, Owassum, Faust, Harris, and Pierce, the starting five for Emory, basically haven't left the floor. They've had a couple of spare minutes here and there from Will Otto, Spencer Hall, and Harris Jackson out of Southern Georgia.
Pierce picked up his second foul. They subbed him out. Otto came in. When Pierce came back in, they went to the zone so they could keep him out there, but they had to keep him safe defensively. Now you get to play with that a little bit more. We'll see how they play it out.
Largest lead right now of the whole game for Emory. As they work it inside to Robinson from just south of the free throw line, splashes one home.
Stay with his own defense as Emory. I don't know how much longer you stay with it. I know they like to change up their defenses, but Robinson's killing them in there.
Goodness gracious, what happened tonight? Nobody boxed him out and he could put it back home.
Did he think someone was there to challenge him? Or did it just come out of his hand as he was going up?
Would have been a catastrophe, but he saved it.
Oh, wait, check out the shoes Grant's wearing. Here, reflective.
From the left side, Caden Bates for three.
Mary Washington just is not afraid of anyone. To finish your thought earlier, they had that run against Emory, losing in the round of 16 as Knight for three. Oh, these two teams just taking shot after shot at each other.
Knight's got 18, a couple of threes.
The Mary Washington team finished 15 and 15. Like, cannot strive how amazing that team was. One of the rare teams to be in the top 25 conversation at 15 and 15. As you see Bates drill the three in the corner. Knight says, I'll take it from about 3 feet deeper and also do the same. I love it when teams start shooting well and still playing great defense.
Jay Randall. See if they can make him a more impactful part of this second half. Played 10 minutes in the first half. He's got 4 points. It's Young from just outside the elbow, and Harris clears the miss.
So Emory stayed in the zone, but that time they put Knight kind of more up into the middle of that defense to eliminate that 10-foot shot that Robinson was taking.
Pierce mishandled it, and Ben goes down, grabbing his right leg. Oh, no. National Player of the Year with his back on the floor.
And I'm surprised they stop it here, because normally you let that play out. I understand he's hurt, but it's not to Mary Washington's disadvantage. Now, I think he may have just banged knees when he came to a stop, or shins. I saw him collide with his defender. Pierce now gets up. That's the good news. I think it's just kind of one of those, oh no. Watch as he comes to a stop. It's Grant. Yeah, they just banged knees and might have slightly hyper extended things. Yeah, that's a knee. There's no foul there. I know he wants one, but I thought it was just really good defense.
Well, the Boo Birds are out for Mary Washington. They didn't like that the game was held up and they had a 5-on-4 advantage.
We saw it a couple times in Fort Wayne. Yeah, that technically is not a scenario where you stop the play. You don't disadvantage Mary Washington for something that's not in their control. And I'm a little surprised they got stopped there. Maybe being a title game, they didn't want something to be effective.
Young's entry pass deflected out off Emory. Shot clock's at 16, so still plenty of time on this possession. Marcus Kahn pleading his case.
I think he's still working that argument. Like, you're not supposed to stop it for us when it's their guy. If he's in a dangerous situation, that's a different conversation.
Quickly right back into the inbounder Robinson, who is fouled on his way into the low post.
And reaching in there is Faust, or I think it was Faust. Now they're going to call it on Knight.
That's the
I didn't see
second on
Knight.
Jair Knight.
I saw Faust reaching in. Team second foul here. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't see. Oh, Faust was completely away from the play, so never mind.
Young, they're tempting him to shoot it from deep. Bounces to the right side, Salvador Young. Underneath Randall, they worked it down, and Owasso rejected it. High pointing. Mary Washington wanted goaltending to no avail.
And you cannot review that, it's a judgment call.
Harris spins on the block, loses it out off of the Blue Eagles.
Marcus Kahn still wants it to be reviewed. You cannot review a goaltending call, and that is not goaltending. That ball is not coming down yet. But you cannot review that. It is a judgment call in the moment, and so it's not even challengeable.
Off the inbound, Faust, laser focused from deep. He's got another.
They let him be square to the basket, feet set. Every time that's happened, he has drilled that shot. Suddenly, Emory up by 8, matching the biggest lead Mary Washington's had in this game.
Emory's defense has really come alive as Robinson fades away and rattles one home.
Mary Washington withstood this from UChicago in the quarterfinals. Came back to actually explode in the second half. They did the same against Trinity midway through the second half.
Faust down the right side and put that right arm up in there. We got loose ball on the floor.
Yeah, this is not unfamiliar territory for the Eagles in any way, shape, or form. As Robinson found himself open on the last possession, right on the elbow. Found the distance to create the space and drilled it. On the other end, loose ball, going down for it. Rugby scrum ensued.
Emory has made one less shot. They've got a 6-point lead. They're 10 of 16 from the free throw line. That's helped. Faust has 11 with 3 threes. Fades away, high off the glass, no sure.
You don't see Faust do that very often. Try and back his defender down.
Gotta show that he's got some size and physicality once in a while. He does love to shoot it from deep.
He also is going up against the one guy from Mary Washington who's more than happy to go blue collar on that.
Jay Randall. Back up top, Robinson sets himself. It hits!
Wow.
Kai Robinson, 16, his first triple. And the Mary Washington Eagle fan base has felt ignited.
Not only to reset, but ignore Faust coming on the help.
Knight with a full head of steam down the lane, missed it. Mary Washington could tie it with a 3-ball. They've hit both threes they've taken this half. 5 of 7 are UMW shooters out of the gates. On the low left block, Randall fighting for his second chance and finally clanks on the floor after he got decked. You can feel the tension rising here in Indianapolis.
Big shot, watch the reset. Faust coming, doesn't matter. Robinson with back-to-back shots gets Mary Washington back into this game as we hit the timeout.
Good little run here for Mary Washington, climbing their way back in. A team that has gotten a ton of big game experience between the second half of last year and this season in general. Hard to believe there are no seniors on this roster, and yet in terms of veteran minutes in big moments, maybe they've got more than a bunch of the other blue bloods around Division III. Jay Randall steps up to the free throw line out of the timeout. Randall was going to be a big part of this game for Mary Washington. It's just a tough matchup. And if you guard him with somebody smaller, he'll go with his mid-post or low-post moves, which are pretty effective. You can dribble past big guys.
You're in a tough spot if you're Emory on defense. Like, Robinson's got 16. Do you start trying to focus to slow him down? Because then Randall's going to open up and start hitting his shots.
Pierce feeds it underneath. It's bobbled and turned over. 7-0 run by UMW.
Well, Owasso looked up before he had that in his hands.
Robinson, a little teardrop. Feathery floater goes down. 44-43. They've got the lead back. 9 in the second half now for Kai Robinson.
He wanted the contact, but he initiated the contact. They're not going to call that. But a great finish despite it.
Knight up and under. Tough play. Jair Knight's got 20 to lead all scorers.
He's 2 for 2 on that shot. He's got a nice touch inside.
9th lead change of the national championship game. Randall on Owasum. Mario wins that battle, but nobody boxed out Colin Mitchell, and it was deflected out, ruled on the floor. Mary Washington ball.
Mitchell might have gotten away with a push on Faust there. One-on-one defense now for Emory. First time we've seen that in quite some time. And you almost saw Randall take full advantage.
Both teams have been way more efficient offensively in the second half. Mitchell, jumper, no.
Oh, wow.
Great effort by Jay Randall to run it back down. Bates, he wanted it. They go right back to Caden, into the corner. Mitchell measures. Almost. Faust grabs the rebound, finds Knight in transition, look out. Jair Knight smokes the layup. UMW trying to settle down here as Randall finds a lot more open space than I think he anticipated. And there is a foul under the basket.
Now Wassam left him alone completely there. Wassam with only 1 foul. Didn't challenge Randall at all on that occasion.
Into the corner, catch and shoot. The bottom! Josh Salvador. 47-45, Mary Washington.
Say it again, they are not afraid of anyone or any moment.
Ben Pierce, brick.
And you can date that back to when they woke up last year and made the NCAA tournament on that run and played this Emory team. They just don't care.
Randall. Everybody stepped away from him, so he goes around to Wassam and swirls it around the rim.
This is a 14-2 run by the Mary Washington. And suddenly, Emory is searching for answers.
Biggest run of the game for UMW. How will Emory respond? They put the ball in the hands of their best player, who was bumped by his friendly fire. He goes out to Faust, who puts a 3-ball back in the holster.
I'd love to see how he found Faust after you said he got run over by Watson.
The look on Pierce's face told you all you needed to know. That was not the plan, that possession. Randall bounces to the right. Bates back to Jay. Waiting. Mitchell deflected. Emory last year led the country in block shots, 4th in the nation this year. They almost turned it over and do. UMW's got it. Robinson armed with a 1-point lead. Kai goes to work, flanks it, and Owasam grabs his 15th rebound.
He's been an absolute workhorse on the boards.
Harris in trouble. Owasam had it jarred out of his hand. Back to AJ. Drives down the right side. It is an offensive foul.
Robinson was camped out, checking his Instagram page, and having a macchiato. Watch this. In the corner, wide open, drills the 3-pointer. That sparks it, and somehow finds an open in the corner for Emory as these two teams trade shots into the break.
That is a handsome young man, Marcus Kahn, 14 years ago when he was the head coach at Cabrini. He was on this stage and lost a white knuckler to Pat Miller and Wisconsin Whitewater, 63-60. The national title game in Salem, Virginia. Coach Kahn, the only Division III basketball coach ever to take 2 different programs into the national championship game. We've had some ups and downs in this game, Dave, and his team has just continued to fight.
He said he learned a lot from that game. They had an 18-point lead in the second half against Whitewater. Corey Lemons, Aaron Walton-Moss, 2 incredible players. And they had a shot to tie it at the end that rimmed out. He is a very different coach if you ask players back then than he is now.
A lot of contact there between Preston White and Mario Owasam, but the referee swallowed it.
Back in the zone look for Emory.
6 to shoot. Robinson needs some help. Goes to his left, fades away, and throws it a little long right. Mario claims it.
Total rebounds for Mary Washington, 24. Owassum,
16.
16.
That ties his career high and his season high.
Mary Washington's got 17 defensive boards.
Ben Pierce, the National Player of the Year, hasn't hit a shot from the floor yet. 5 points, all from the stripe.
Mary Washington's done an amazing job on them defensively.
Owassum fades away. No. Good box out there. Caden Bates grabs the miss.
Mary Washington isn't telling everybody else you're going to have to hit shots to win this game. It's not that. They're trying to shut down as many options as possible, but they are doing an amazing job of containing Pierce and always knowing where he is on the floor.
Jair Knight with 20, Ethan Faust with 14, Kai Robinson's got 18. Those have been the big scorers. Caden Bates had to go way up top with Owassum trying to block it. Third chance, yes! And a chance for a three-point play for Preston White.
Owassum got taken out, got poked in the eye or something, so I don't know if he even realized he was committing the foul. As you see, Bates miss the initial, gets his own rebound, fights back, and then you see that moment for Owassum as somehow Preston White hits the shot despite the grab of his wrist. So White, 55% free throw shooter, with a three-point play here.
Preston White, one of 5 Mary Washington Eagles who played their high school ball in Prince William County. From Patriot High School, Bates, Ethan Keku, and Jay Randall. Hassan Hamad went to Battlefield, and then from Gainesville High, Mr. White. They're all on the precipice of a national championship. Big deal there in Greater Fredericksburg, Virginia.
Forced Pierce into a mistake there.
14th turnover, only 5 of them forced. This is really unlike Emory, who leads the country in assist-to-turnover ratio today. 14 turnovers, 11 assists. They only trail by 4 here.
Same thing we saw Mary Washington do to Trinity last game.
Randall had it partially blocked. Owassum just all over that. 7 to shoot when they inbound it. 10 lead changes in the national championship game. Mary Washington's led for about 16.5 minutes. Emory's had the lead for 9.5. Hamad in the corner. Off target. Here comes Jair Knight. Must watch television. Wants to go to work on Hamad. Beats him to the post. Flings it up and in. Scoop and score. 52-50. 22 for Knight.
Bench wanted a foul there, but I thought it was just a great play as stepping out of bounds. Though Bates knew his heel was on the line as Harris comes back in for Emory. And you see Bates, check this out, just going right. It's like going up against a tight end. I like that no call actually, because it's contact's being initiated by Knight, and Hamad is staying straight up. I kind of like the fact that the officials know wiser there to then call that as a foul.
After Mary Washington's nice little offensive spurt, they've now missed 7 of their last 8 shots. Getting late in the national title game as Ben Pierce is off, but Ethan Faust tried to save the possession, couldn't handle it.
And you're starting to see some frustration from Pierce there at the end of that shot. Starting to show his emotions a little bit on his struggles offensively, which we saw from Robinson 2 weekends ago.
Takes more than 1 star to win a national championship. Ben Pierce is the best player in the country. Good play, Kai Robinson uses all parts of the cylinder to put it home. Ben Pierce is trying to keep his head in the moment. 5 points, nothing from the field. 3 rebounds, 4 assists. He's turned it over 5 times. And yet Emory is only down by 4.
It's because there's guys like Owassum and Knight and Faust who've hit some huge shots.
Ethan wants another. He's already hit.
He was
4
moving.
threes.
He wasn't totally set, and Randall was right there.
Robinson loses the handle. Emory usually likes to play fast, a little winded perhaps. They're not pushing the tempo. A.J. Harris back down the lane and a blocking foul. Harris, 2 foul shots.
Checking, coming into your living room. Yeah, Hassan's still moving into position there, as Knight had already determined he was going up. Hassan took the worst of that. should point out, back in Fort Wayne, he was fasting during the quarterfinals.
It's true.
Had that Ramadan holiday coming to an end by the time he got to the semifinals, and the difference, he talked about the support his teammates gave him throughout that, and really how it was just to everybody like, yeah, it's just part of the course.
Second foul on Hassan, and so he checks out of the game. It's now Robinson, Sewidor, Bates, Randall, and Mitchell against Knight, Pierce, Awasam, Harris, and Faust. 54-50.
Put a bow on it. It goes back to the Marcus Kahn idea that it's about the player, it's about the person. We'll do whatever it is about basketball, it's about basketball, but it's about making you a better person.
Both of these coaches so invested in the personal development of their teams, as Faust, with that long outstretched arm, forced another miss there from Josh.
Talking about Jason Zimmerman, to get his copy and paste what I just said too.
Knight, good step back. He's got an open look. Misses it left.
He's starting to press. He thinks he's got to now pick up the mantle because Pierce isn't. And now Knight's starting to take some shots that I don't think are really the shots he wants.
Both offenses cooled off just a little bit here. Still a tight game as Colin Mitchell finds Randall. Awasam contests it, didn't matter. Jay Randall, perfect jump shot.
Nice little mid-range shot. We talked earlier about how it's all about the three and then hit your shots from inside on rebounds, but gotta love the team that can hit a mid-range jumper. Randall now with 10.
Especially in this day and age where it's usually at the rim or from deep. Harris from the block is in trouble. He swings it back to the right. 10 to shoot for Awasam, who squares up. Wants to dribble. Mario had his pocket picked.
It's that help defense for the Eagles. It comes from everywhere. They're gonna either make your shot difficult, they're gonna pick your pocket, it doesn't matter. They're gonna come from somewhere that if you want a spin move like that, forget where that help defense is gonna come, you're gonna turn it over.
Caden Bates. Sewidor, they're basically giving him a chance to shoot. What happened to the defense on Jay Randall? Bates is now open, and he makes him pay! Largest lead for UMW in the Natty. From the right side, Knight misfires. Harris can't grab the loose ball. And the tie-up sends it the other direction. Mary Washington, 7 unanswered points. Emory's offense has gone cold. It's Caden Bates steps in and drills one here at Gainbridge. Caden Bates, a junior from Bristow, Virginia, the defensive player of the year in the conference. But he's hit 2 threes in big moments today. Of course, hit the clinching 3 in the semifinal win. He was 3 for 14 from behind the three-point line in the NCAA tournament before taking that game-winning shot in the semifinal. Now he's made 3 in a row in huge moments. And he's got his team out front by 9, under 6 minutes to go in the national championship game. Emory led 43-35 at the 17-minute mark, and since then it's 24-7, Mary Washington. Add 2 more for Jay Randall.
They are eating this Emory defense up in terms of spacing and where to find spots. And I know Jason Zimmerman told us at halftime, and he told us in Fort Wayne, that they're a team that changes up its defenses, but something is not working with the other options they have. They stick with the zone. And Pierce missed another chance on going inside.
Good ball rotation, almost too much there. As Pierce drives on Randall again. Harris catch and shoot, short out of his hand.
Yeah, Harris rushed that shot because he saw the help. He saw the rushing defense from Bates coming. Pierce continues to struggle as Emory has got to find some answers.
In that bad offensive stretch now, Emory's hit just 3 of its last 14 shots, and they've turned it over 6 times since that 17-minute mark. Off the window, 2 more, and Kai Robinson, the All-American, is having a heck of a national title game, 22.
Kai Robinson wanting a call as Jason Zimmerman wants the call timeout, but quickly, this is exactly what they did to Trinity last game out.
Kai Robinson getting it done for Mary Washington. They lead by 13 in Indy.
Kai Robinson has come to play in the national championship game. He has found it from 5 feet, from 10 feet, from all over the floor. Emory defense has not been able to slow him down, and he has shown why he's an All-American, why he was a Conference Player of the Year, why he's unfazed by the environment today.
You need your stars to play well in the national championship game if you want to have a shot. Kai Robinson has been amazing. And the National Player of the Year, Ben Pierce, has been bottled up. Pierce is playing hard. He has hardly left the floor despite picking up 2 early fouls, but UMW's defensive plan for Ben Pierce has been terrific. Robinson, meanwhile, is averaging 23 a game in the NCAA tournament, and he's got 22. Emory's not going down without swinging. Faust hits another 3, his 5th, and it's 63-53.
Quick note on Pierce, he usually is 7 assists a game and 3 turnovers, an amazing assist-to-turnover ratio. He's got 4 assists to 5 turnovers right now.
Ethan Faust, since late February, he's about 40% from behind the three-point line, 15 and 9 tonight. He hasn't been super efficient tonight, but playing well as Robinson goes right back to work. Pierce pulls it away from him. 12-point game. Faust wants another. With his feet set, he's got 3 foul shots coming. Caden Bates commits the foul.
I think Faust just did an amazing former Pacer play where he draws the foul on the 3-point play. But once again, Faust hitting 2 huge shots in this game. This one's going to send him to the free throw line, but that one gives them a chance in the title game.
It's been 35 years since the University of Mary Washington won a team national championship. And they lead the number 2 ranked team in the country, Emory, by 12 points with under 4 to go, thanks in large part to a spectacular night by their superstar, Kai Robinson.
24 points and 8 boards, outdoing last weekend by a landslide. Knight has done his best for Emory at 22 points, but he's gonna need help from his all-everything and Ben Pierce. They are 6 of their last 7 from the floor. Of course, that 1 by Faust was huge. And he's now got a chance at a 3-point opportunity on a cheeky little foul on the 3-point shot there before the break.
Ethan Faust, when he's at his best, this team is tough to beat. And they need him to deliver down the stretch. Ethan and his brother Eli on the bench from St. Louis, Missouri, Clayton High School. Ethan's had a terrific season in the NCAA tournament, has had some very, very big moments. Trying to scratch and claw are the Emory Eagles. Back into this thing, down 10. 2 out of 3. Emory has struggled from the line tonight in general, 12 of 21. They are +6 on the glass, which means Mary Washington's been much better rebounding here of late. So we get a foul way up near the midcourt logo.
Yeah, Emory getting a lot more aggressive on defense here, trying to get turnovers or at least force Mary Washington to miss some free throws.
7th on Emory, and so Mary Washington is in the bonus here. Only 3 fouls on UMW.
Jason Zimmerman and Marcus Kahn both looked a little confused by something reviewed there on the floor.
These are 2 great head coaches that are consummate gentlemen off the floor, and they are relentlessly competitive.
Yeah, they're
when
changing
the ball's out there.
Double checking who the free throw shooter is going to be.
So it is Bates at the line. 8 points, 3 of 10. First free throw of the game for Caden Bates. Rattles away. Jair Knight claims it. Emory's got some work to do. They've missed 6 of their last 7 shots. 3.5 minutes left to go. Pierce, nothing is going for him at all, but Jair Knight bails him out. It's an 8-point game. Knight with 24 on 9 of 20 from the floor. Robinson and company break the press, and they're going to put Caden right back to the strike.
I was going to say, they clearly have targeted who they're going to foul in these scenarios to play that free throw game with a lot of time on the clock. Bates is a 70% free throw shooter.
And they're daring them to make 2 on the line.
Most of the heavy contributors for this UMW team can shoot free throws pretty well.
Robinson's 80%, so's Young.
It's a friendly bounce there.
Burgess is at 74%.
Meanwhile, in terms of foul trouble, nobody has 4 for either team. Pierce and Harris with 3 apiece for Emory. Nobody even has 3 for UMW. Caden Bates buries them both.
Right now, Randall and Suador are the 2 that are on the floor that Emory would really like to foul in terms of percentage.
Back to a 10-point game for just a split second because Mario Owasum absolutely terrorizes the rim.
And then he tripped over the mid-court line and is grabbing his...
Looks like he's cramping up.
I think he cramped up a little bit there. He's okay. He was backpedaling and tripped over the logo, it seemed.
That's a bummer here for Owasum, who has to come off now because the trainer came on the floor.
Well, they stopped play because of it. Great finish. Emphatic finish. But watch, he turns here, he just kind of get caught up in his feet and went down. And because he went down and grimaced, they were required, because they stopped play for him, to pull him from the floor.
67-59. How can Mary Washington handle the heat? Another foul is going to send, this time, Randall to the stripe. 69% free throw shooter. Emory is trying to make this game go as long as possible.
It's not the worst idea. I mean, yes, you shoot 2 free throws, but if you're only going to make 1 or none, Emory can work with that and chip into the lead.
10 of 12 for the game are these Mary Washington Eagles. Randall leaned that one home. He is 3 for 3 today. And he'll take it. 30-second timeout called by Marcus Kahn and Mary Washington. So we've gone back and forth, teams trading free throws and buckets. It's a 10-point game with 3 minutes to play. Mentioned earlier that Mary Washington is trying to assert itself as the new dominant team in Virginia. 3 of the last 4 years, either Hampton-Sydney, Christopher Newport, or Randolph-Macon have played in the national championship game. Newport and Macon both won those games. Hampton-Sydney lost to Trine a couple years ago. But Marcus Kahn and his team right now have shown some unbelievable tournament toughness. They have run the gauntlet in this NCAA tournament with wins over La Crosse, Chicago, and Trinity just to get here.
And Mary Washington knows 2 of those 3 extremely well. Christopher Newport's in their own conference. And of course, we talk about Hamad being a transfer from CNU. It's about an hour and a half-ish from their campus. Go to Richmond and hang east. The other side of it is Randolph-Macon. They're right down the road from them on the other side of Kings Dominion.
Ben Pierce is fouled. I don't believe they intended to, but Mary Washington is not in foul trouble. It's just the team's 4th
and
this half.
Those 2 programs, in part, are the reason Marcus Kahn realized, oh, I've got to be a little bit more defensive-minded. These 2 teams play such great defense and have good offenses. I've got to start changing things up. I can't just be happy with how we do things.
Pierce beats him off the dribble. Great play, and back to the strike.
Can't get it to fall. Yes, he'll get 2 free throws, but how much bigger would it be if he's going to the line for a 3-point opportunity?
It's 3 on Jay Randall. Ben Pierce, first-team All-American, the D3Hoops.com National Player of the Year. Leads the country in assists, 4th in scoring. All 6 of his points tonight have come from the free throw line. 0 for 7 from the field, 0 for 4 from behind the 3-point line. He's making an impact with 4 rebounds and 6 assists, but it has not been even close to a normal day to 10 and white. It's an 8-point game with 2:45 to play. Robinson, some kind of hot hand today again, 24. Only turned it over twice, and he's been out there 37 minutes. playing the game of his life in the national championship. Kai Robinson with a sweet little floater over the extended Owassum arm. Mary Washington is in the driver's seat. Pierce feeds it off. Owassum missed it from point blank, gathered again, and was fouled.
So Owassum's going to go to the line there. He's still looking like he's limping a little bit from that previous moment, but he'll get a chance here. 74% free throw shooter. Again, though, if you're Emory, he's so much bigger if you're going to hit that shot and have a three-point opportunity instead.
It's 4 fouls now on Jay Randall as Owassum hits the foul shot. And thus far, Emory's decision to try and lengthen the game and make UMW hit all these free throws, it has not yet paid off. They can't seem to get closer than 8 right now. They're at that deficit at the moment. Inbound pass to Robinson, and he was fouled quickly by Jair Knight, his 3rd. Aggressively went for the steal, didn't get it. In addition to all of these free throws that Mary Washington seems to be making in critical moments, they've also hit 6 consecutive shots from the floor.
Kai Robinson at the line for Mary Washington.
Kai Robinson. Off to the right. Randall checks out with those 4 fouls. Preston White takes his place. Kai takes a big, deep breath. Only a sophomore from Alexandria, Virginia. Feels like he's got a really bright future, but he's going to be haunted by missing those 2. That's exactly what Emory needed, as Faust, his 3 is up and he's fouled.
That didn't give him room to land.
3 more free throws for Ethan Faust.
He had 2 or 3 last time. Under 2 minutes left, down by 8. These are huge. Again, it's about leaving room to land. Yeah, he jumped right into him. That's an easy call for the officials.
3rd foul on Colin Mitchell. And now Emory's making up a little ground. 7-point game. That's the first 2.
Quick note, Ben Pierce. I'm gonna shout out his brother, Maxwell Pierce. Played at SUNY Purchase. Was a pretty darn good basketball player himself. He played for the Harlem Globetrotters. He timed a surgical procedure he needed on his heart to make sure he could be here and be in Fort Wayne at the same time.
Incredible. Family support means everything to these guys. He's Faust for the 2nd time, hits the first 2 and misses a 3rd. It's a 6-point game. Robinson fighting his way to the rack, and he's got 2 more free throws.
This has turned into an absolute slog as both teams are fighting to finish. Robinson trying to get through the double team, gets hacked on the way up by Knight.
It is 4 on Jair Knight.
Pierce has got 3, Harris has 3.
Robinson 1 for 5 from the free throw line, and Mary Washington, for as consistent as they were for a little stretch there, they've missed now 3 in a row from the stripe.
As good a weekend as he had in Fort Wayne.
Splits the pair. And more importantly, makes it a 3-possession game as Pierce picks it up. Ben Pierce flings it over. Faust cut it off. It would have been picked off. Emory a little fortunate this possession. Ben hoists. Oh my! Finally hits one! Pierce, the ultimate man of the moment, brings it within 4 on his first made shot of the night. 72-68 as we approach a minute to go in the national title game. Burgess in the corner, no, not even close. And a foul under the basket as Sewador pushed Pierce from behind.
You got to be careful if you're Mary Washington here. As much as you've been in control this second half, Emory has done exactly what they wanted. They've extended the game. They've pushed it out. They've getting opportunities. Check out this 3 by Pierce. Readjust, step back. He was throwing that up no matter what.
and he got it to fall. Couldn't be a bigger shot tonight for him, and now he goes to the line after the foul on the other end of the floor. Mary Washington kind of dealt a little bit of this with Trinity. They've just got to keep their heads.
1-1. First one does not go. What a miss. Mary Washington, final minute, and they call a timeout.
Jason Zimmerman out to midcourt with his Emory team. And now Marcus Kahn trying to, I said in Fort Wayne that Marcus Kahn called 2 timeouts that I thought were pivotal and so smart. The first one was in the second half against UChicago when they made the run to start that half, and he waited to the under 16 minute and he realized, I got to talk to my guys. And then they didn't get a whistle when they should have gotten another timeout immediately, and they got a chance to extend it out. Then against Trinity, when things were starting to unravel on them late in that second half, and they were suddenly down, he calls another well-positioned timeout, calms his guys down. I talked to him about that in pregame, and he quickly said to me, listen, the longer my guys get away from us, the more we need to get them back and talk to them and have a moment. This could be one of those another pivotal timeouts.
Well, he certainly has had the magic touch in the NCAA tournament. We're in the racing capital of the world, so if I can borrow a racing comparison here. Sometimes the NCAA tournament feels maybe more like the Boston Marathon. It's a grueling test of endurance, survive and advance. Gotta have some guile. You desperately try to stave off elimination. But at this stage, maybe a bit more like the Indy 500. Power, speed, split-second decisions can either immortalize you or vanquish your dreams entirely. Mary Washington standing right on the edge, and they turn it over. Faust to Harris, who goes right to the rim and lays it in. Timeout. Emory in a 2-point game with 47 seconds to play.
Mary Washington wanted a foul call on that play. We'll see it again. Driving in is Grant. I can't see from that angle where his complaint is as Harris finishes without Bates challenging him. I can't see what he's looking for there, but it's a great job of Emory defensively staying in the play, forcing the turnover, and suddenly a 2-point game on a 9-1 run in the last 80 seconds. As after review, they adjusted time to 46.8. By the way, also tip of the hat to the officials. We haven't had one play today.
Really good.
Where either coach, other than a potential goaltending which can't be even looked at, that either coach has said, hey, I want that looked at.
It's been a rock-solid officiated game, that's for sure. Kudos to those guys.
Jim Haney, the head of officiating in Division III, has done an amazing job of getting Division III officials in a whole nother place, and it's showing here today.
Here we go. Bates inbounds to Young. Full court zone. Robinson standing in the backcourt. 20 in the backcourt. Did he get it across? Maybe just in the nick of time as Colin Mitchell comes flying to the official calling for timeout. He saw his head coach Marcus Kahn asking for timeout because coach was looking at the shot clock. This was awfully close to a 10-second violation. 72-70 at the moment.
Remember, it gets down to 20 on the shot clock. That is it's not a 10-second count anymore. It's the game clock. Yep, he's over just in time.
Good awareness there from Kai Robinson.
Well, man, if you want that back, if you're Emory, you wish Guy had stepped right up onto the line just before that 20 to keep him from having that space. But you're not looking at the clock. You're not aware of where that clock is in that moment.
Mary Washington, 27 points from Kai Robinson. 10 points, 10 rebounds for Caden Bates. Jair Knight has 24, 21 for Ethan Faust, 10 for Ben Pierce, who finally hit a 3. It was a big one a couple minutes ago. As Mary Washington burned its final timeout, Emory still 1 remaining. Emory's in the bonus, double bonus for UMW. This is exactly how we wanted it, right down to the wire in the national championship.
And the last 7 games, only one has not finished within a couple of possessions. That's how good D3 basketball has been, how deep this division has gotten.
Who wants it more? Mitchell, Bates, Young, Randall, and Robinson for UMW. A bucket here would be huge. Difference in the shot clock's about 16.5 seconds. Chubb Young to the corner. Robinson, Mitchell from a long way out, he missed it short. He runs down his own miss, and he's fouled by Ethan Faust.
And it's a huge offensive rebound. Emory's got a chance to close it out and keep Mary Wash from getting a good look. This is not a great shot. And Harris, so worried about not hitting him, forgets to block out and go for the rebound.
Colin Mitchell at the free throw line, swishes the first. On the season, Mitchell has only taken now 5 free throws. He's 3 for 5. Does he have the guile to put him up 4? No. Emory doesn't need a 3 if they can score quickly. 1 timeout. Faust to tie the game. Oh, yeah! 73s. UMW out of timeouts. Robinson, 5 seconds. Goes to his left for the win. No, Mitchell's putback is good. Mary Washington. Oh, boy. They will review it. But UMW has its masterpiece. Shades of Christopher Newport from a couple years ago, beating Mount Union at the buzzer as the coaches embrace at midcourt, waiting for confirmation.
It's the blue-collar guy. It's the one you put in there for all the big shots from outside, not from inside. And he gets a huge offensive rebound putback after Robinson tried to hit the shot. Watch it again. Robinson off balance, airballs it. Quick reaction trigger. The guy who is, I mean this, the lunch pail guy on this team drills the shot. Now they do not need to put time on the clock. This is over.
Colin Mitchell and Mary Washington will cut down the nets as the 2026 national champions. An electric game that featured 10 lead changes, some high wire drama late, and UMW, who had been so poorly out-rebounded all game, Dave, they got a couple of big rebounds late, both in the corner off of Mitchell's missed 3, and then Colin cleaning up the weak side to put home the national championship clinching bucket.
We talked about Emory getting so many second chance opportunities against Mary Washington, and they do an amazing job of second chance opportunities, not only to keep Emory from getting the opportunity to come down and maybe get the win or the tie, whatever, but at the end, wow.
Kai Robinson scored 27, but everybody wants a piece of 25. Colin Mitchell, 6 points in 27 minutes, but he steps in, slides underneath, and wins the game with an unbelievable putback.